Have you ever had these questions? Is there more to my life? Could there be more to my life than there already is? Just getting out of bed, going to work or school or college, doing my chores, meeting my friends, partying, etc., etc. Could there be more meaning to it? I started asking these questions 7 years ago when I was finishing my law school, and I was also dancing professionally at the Dance Works Delhi. So one day I was driving back from my law school, going to my dance studio, and I was wondering that everything is going great in my life. My life is quite happening. I'm finishing my education, and I'm also pursuing my passion for dance. But what else? I had this strange feeling of that something was missing inside, like a piece of me, a part of me, which I know was missing, but I didn't know what it was. Or I was lost, like it was lost, and I had to find that piece of puzzle. So I was driving, and I was just, looking up at the sky and literally talking and saying, what else? I'm sure there's a lot more to life than I have figured out so far. So bring it on, please. I'm ready for it. Because even though my life was quite happening, but I was bored as hell of the mundane, not so mundane also, but yet I found it mundane. So I was just asking, what else is there? I'm sure there is something. Please, I'm ready for it. Bring it on now. I think that day marks as the beginning of my journey of discovering the undiscovered self. This word undiscovered, I find it sounds very fascinating to me. Undiscovered. It's so vast. It's as vast as, I would say, infinity. And that's why I would say we humans, our species, has or could discover as much as infinity. Like there's no limit to discovering. It's like it's limitless. So a lot of us keep on living our lives without realizing and without the awareness of self. Like we're living, we're breathing, but we are oblivious to the fact that we are not just this body. We are not just our thoughts or emotions or two eyes, one nose, and an appearance, or what we feel and how we emote and think and how we function. We humans are so entangled in the earthly, worldly living that some of us, including me, I also took, I would say, 23 years to come to this realization that could there be another way of living and not just this, like a robot or just getting up, doing this, that, and the sense of missing out on something which is so deep. And now I've realized it. Like after 7 years of this journey of discovering the undiscovered self, now I understand what was missing that day. So as I was saying, we humans get so entangled in the worldly, earthly living, materialistic living, that we forget or are unaware of the fact that we could be living our lives in a much more blissful, heavenly, divine manner. There's a huge difference how I was even breathing back in 2007, 2013, and how I take my breath in now. I would say I'm just more present inside my body. I'm more aware. I am more alive. You know, it's like I was sleeping earlier, but not literally sleeping. My eyes were open, my brain was awake, but I feel awakened, like widely awakened at a whole new level in comparison to what or how I was living earlier. So we, you know, at times when we are like really tired or fatigued, what do we say? Oh God, I don't have energy today. I'm like so tired, can't get off the bed. But why? What runs us? Like, how do we function? How does our body, this matter, this tangible, this physical aspect, how do we run? How do we function? On energy. Whenever our body lacks energy, our productivity, everything goes down. And the day we are like high on energy, where we can like take on the world. So what is energy? I would say energy is like food for your body. Yeah, like how our stomach needs food, our body needs energy to run. I'm sure a lot of you have felt this, that you know there are certain kind of people in our lives who, when the moment they walk in through the door, you know, like the entire room lights up, and they come in with so much positivity, so much energy, so much contagious energy that, you know, we also become happy and excited and lively to see them, because they have that amount of positivity, that energy, and they throw that out, they project that outside. And then there are also certain people in our life who, I mean, when we meet them, we feel drained. Or, you know, at times when you say, oh, I didn't get the right kind of vibe or right kind of energy from this person, what does that mean? And why do we get to sense this? How? Well, we humans are programmed in such a way that we can sense this, we can sense the vibrations, the energies around us. And the more we get connected deep within, deep with ourselves, this ability keeps on increasing. So we humans have 5 senses, which would be your taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. These 5 senses. So, you know, they work on, you know, like on average basis. But when you start connecting deep within, they get enhanced. Yeah? Why? Because you're connecting, when you connect with yourself, then you start connecting at a soul level. Then you start connecting with everything around you at a higher level. You become more aware. You start realizing more. Your senses awaken. And you connect to the direct source of energy, which is the universe. So it's like you awaken as a being at a whole new level. So 7 years ago, I was totally unaware of this aspect of life. And thank God for that day that I asked the right kind of questions. And then 7 years later, I'm glad that I'm doing this talk and all of you have chosen to come here. So the fact that you are here and listening to this, that means you are ready for it. You're ready to accept and grab all the gold that the universe has to offer us. I mean, it's all out there. It's patiently waiting for us to catch up or to come to the well of infinite possibilities and drink the water and then just light up. So I feel that I personally, talking from my personal experience, I've probably just touched the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more that could be discovered. So going back to the 5 senses, now there's this thing called 6th sense. What is that? You know how we say some people are very intuitive, like they always know, they go with their gut feel and they're mostly correct. Or sometimes when we listen to our gut feeling and we know that, okay, something is wrong, this is not happening. Why? Because we allow the energy at that time, that we are letting the energy to flow. So that energy is flowing in and we get to know, oh no, this is wrong, oh no, this is not right for us. So that way, similarly, we need to be a lot more open in our life, in every second of our life. And these days, young people, especially youth, gets a bit scared when they hear this word spirituality. Oh, spirituality. All is going really great in my life. I don't need it. I'm enjoying, I'm chilling, all is great in my life. For example, if you have a very comfortable sedan with a sunroof, yeah, but life gives you an opportunity to drive a Ferrari. Would you say, I don't need a Ferrari, I'm happy with my 4-wheeler, my sedan? Would you say no to a Ferrari? So that's what spirituality is. You have no idea what and where it can take you in life. It's a way of life. It's as simple as drinking water or breathing in or eating your food. So if you are already happy and you become spiritual, you become more happy. So if you're already doing great, you will be doing even better, even greater. So with spirituality, eventually you develop your 6th sense. So there's this French word called clairvoyance, which means to see clearly, a clear seeing. In the 6th sense, you start to develop this ability to sense and see beyond just the tangible or the physical aspect. When you can pick up on emotions of other people, when you can pick up on the energy of the vibrations, and you become more intuitive. That's the 6th sense. And when you start developing that, you unlock your potential, and then there's no limit. It's like it's limitless. You could unlock your potential times infinity. And it's easier said than done. I was, a bit confused and lost in 2013. That's why all these questions were coming up in my head. Then I took 2 years. I tried and tested a couple of things. Some made sense to me and some did not. So I dropped those things. And then 2 years later, in 2015, I went back to those things and picked up a few more. So in 2015, I started with certain kind of meditations. Then in 2017, I started with pranic healing, Arhatic yoga and access bar consciousness, and all I can say is that I feel a lot more alive, a lot more energetic, a lot more happier, a lot more clearer in my head. And I feel that I've only gained this much, and probably there's endless gains for me out there. So if I have to put this in like a summary, there's so much to discover, yet we fear the unknown because we don't understand it, but we must give it a chance. Give us a chance to reconnect. You know, at times we meet certain people who don't look their age, who look younger than their age. Why so? You think they're consuming some magic potion or elixir of life? Probably they are. They're so connected deep within. They're so connected from the direct source of energy, which is the universe. That's why they have so much energy running in their body. That's why they look young, they feel young, because they are younger than so many of us around. So as I said earlier, there is so much to discover, as much as infinity. So do not limit yourself. Be open to reconnecting with the direct source, which is the universe.